We spend most of our time indoors, nearly 90% by some estimates. This means that the air we breathe most of the time has been affected, in some way, by the indoor environment. The term indoor air quality, or IAQ, characterizes the air that we breathe in terms of the amount of pollutants present, including viruses or bacteria that can make us sick. Understanding how our activities and choices can make IAQ worse or better allows us to make informed decisions to improve the air we breathe. Let's start by understanding the reasons that we care. More than 50 years of research show us that poor air quality threatens our health in many ways, sometimes from short-term exposure, like a one-time smoky wildfire, and sometimes from continued exposure over long periods of time, like living in a polluted city. Exposure to air pollution threatens our lung and heart health, increasing the risk for heart attacks, strokes, and asthma, among other issues. Many air pollutants can also increase risks of cancers, including breast cancer, lung cancer, and leukemia. Some people are generally more sensitive to air pollution than others, in particular children, older adults, and those who are pregnant or have pre-existing health conditions. Additionally, people's exposure can vary a lot, depending on factors like where they live, what activities go on around them, and job-specific exposure. Often people in lower socioeconomic neighborhoods are exposed to higher levels of air pollution, an issue that many environmental justice groups work to address. Many respiratory illnesses and diseases, such as the flu, COVID-19, and even the common cold, are transmitted through the air. That means we can get sick if we breathe in these viruses and germs. Our chance of getting sick increases as the amount of viruses and germs that we breathe in increases. If we're not careful, the amount of the viruses that cause these diseases can build up to high levels in the air when we are inside, increasing the chances that we make each other sick. Exposure to air pollution also has negative impacts on the cognitive ability of older people, learning by students, and the productivity of people in the workplace. The impacts on learning and productivity come from both missed school and work days, and from decreases in mental performance by students or people when they try to do challenging tasks or work in groups. These losses in learning and productivity add up to billions of dollars in economic impacts every year. Ultimately, there are many reasons that we should be concerned about the quality of the air that we breathe, especially indoors where we spend most of our time. To help improve IAQ, it's important that we understand some basics about the sources of indoor air pollutants, what happens to them once they are in the air, and steps that can be taken to reduce the amounts of pollutants in the air. The rest of the modules in part 1 of this video series will go over some of the basic, yet important concepts we need to know as we think about improving IAQ in the spaces where we live, work, and learn.